Hello and welcome. Thank you for coming back to the channel, and if it's your first time visiting, welcome. I am Freaking Jack, and today I wanted to talk about something that particularly gets on my nerves. Today I want to talk about exactly why the state of 2022 League of Legends just drives me crazy and why it can be unbelievably frustrating. So let's discuss. I want to start this video by saying this is all my opinions, really. There's a little bit of factual drizzle here and there. I've been playing this game since 2012. This is a lot of me just kind of talking about what the game used to be, what it is today, and why I think it's kind of becoming a big fat pile of garbage. And it's more so why it can be frustrating. And I say can because it can be fun. It can be entertaining. It can be challenging, but for the most part, it is unbelievably frustrating, especially in the state that it is today. So I'm going to go over 4 of my primary reasons why I personally think League of Legends in 2022 is unbelievably frustrating, and how it can be better. I'm going to throw in a couple of solutions that I think Riot should really take under advisement. Number 1, game balance or lack thereof. The item system in League of Legends was overhauled about a year ago. A little bit before that, the assassins were overhauled and made gods on the Rift. And this kind of drives me crazy. So when they redid the items, they took a lot of old ones that we loved away. They changed a lot of things. They added item haste instead of ability cooldowns, all that kind of stuff. I said item haste. I mean ability haste. So the thing that drove me crazy about this is that they kind of gypped some of the other roles. Take ADCs, for example. A lot of ADCs are being forced to go lethality or AP because the ADC items kind of got destroyed in the process. Same with supports and tanks. They didn't get a lot of good items. They finally just brought out a new item that allows them to have some mana, because so many tanks were going because there's no items that gave you mana except for like one of the main mythic items. And assassins, jumping back to them, they've been so strong for so long. Most assassins are just broken as a whole. I mean, you might think I'm being just a whiner, but when it comes down to it, you think champions like Pyke. The guy's got a hook, a slow, a stun, a dash, an invisible, a heal, and an execution ult. The guy has everything. He has a way in, he has a way out, he has a way to kill you, he has a way to help. He has so many ways of just destroying their team. Plus, his passive allows anybody that helped him get the kill to get an enormous amount of gold in the process, which in my opinion should just be how it is either way, because of the fact that assists are truly worth nothing. And that's just something else I guess I can go over in a different video. But Riot is coming out with so many new things, like new dragons, the new introduction to bounties. They're coming out with so many new things, but they need to fix what they have first. And that's what drives me crazy. They keep adding new things and bringing out new stuff, and all this is exciting until you jump into the game, and it's still just as frustrating as ever because the things that were still broken are still broken. Jumping into the second item on my list is champion quality and balance. There's not so much special stuff happening anymore. Back in the day when I first started League of Legends, when a new champion came out, it was exciting, it was fun. There was a little animated screen on the login screen that was a big deal, let you know that they were coming out. It gave you it was something to talk about. They came out not so often. Now they come out with champions almost every month. And every month you have like a couple weeks to really get to know the champion that just came out. And by the time the new one comes out, you're having to relearn a new one. And at this point, in my opinion, they're just recycling abilities now. They're taking champions that have all these cool abilities and are very unique, creating another one, but they're making them more broken. They're taking what already exists and was already works and making them even better. And then that other champion that had the original ability is now obsolete. And no one chooses them anymore because they made them better. They made a new upgraded version. They just evolved them. It's like Pokemon. They're just making the better version. You don't have the old version when you got the new version. In my opinion, Riot is taking the King Neptune from SpongeBob approach to champion creation, mass producing just trash, instead of taking the SpongeBob technique of making sure it's all nice and neat, everything works, everything's balanced, and then releasing it. And instead, they're just coming out with all this trash and going, oh, we better fix it afterwards, when in reality, they needed to do that before. They have plenty of ways to do it. They need to grow up and actually make sure the champions aren't broken before they release them. It drives me crazy. Moving on to the next one is the ranked system. Ranked is and always has been busted. The reason I say this is because I have had more than my fair share of ranked games where I do awesome. I have low deaths, high kills. I was there for all the team fights. I was always helping. I got a lot of objectives, the whole 9 yards, right? But the other members of my team, someone AFKs, someone feeds, someone's toxic, someone has issues, someone has a toaster for a computer, whatever. When this happens, you get punished. I want you to know that. If you win, you still lose. If you win your lane and all of your other teammates fail, you still lose points. What I want to do with the rank system is overhaul it. Take a page out of Apex Legends book. I want them to add points that go toward the individual and then take out the overwhelming score of the loss. So what I mean by that is, let's say you get points for turrets or objectives, as well as points for kills and assists. So let's say every assist counts as like a fraction of a point, and every kill counts as a point, and every turret counts as 1 or 2 points. What happens is by the end of a game, let's say you lost, but you got a certain amount of points and you got 20. But you lose 25 from the loss. That means you only lose 5 because it kind of balances out. But let's say you still lose, but you got 30 points because you had a ton of kills, ton of assists, ton of objectives, then you should still gain a little bit of points back. So it gives you as the player, as the individual, more of an incentive to do better on an individual basis rather than only focusing on the team aspect all of the time. Because at least if your team's doing really bad, you can focus on doing well as an individual, and then you might actually want to try. Because the problem is people don't want to try when they're automatically losing. That's just my take on it. Last but not least, the community. League of Legends has the worst community I've ever been a part of. I have been playing for 10 years and it has only gotten worse. They've tried implementing new ways of banning people, new ways of punishment, new ways of even reward for those that do this and are being nice. You know, you could say GG to somebody or saying, you know, they kept it cool or whatever, but it doesn't really incentivize anything because there's no way of punishing those that actually make it a very bad experience. Those that are genuinely toxic, those that genuinely feed, and those that genuinely are just throwing the game because they don't want you as an individual to win. I had a game today where I apparently didn't help one of my teammates the way that they wanted me to, so they followed me around the entire rest of the game for the next 15 minutes or so, pinging me every single time that they were allowed to ping again, and taking all my farm and doing all this stuff just because I didn't do what they had expected me to do. And I guarantee nothing's going to happen to that person. That toxic person that's stuck in the community, nothing's going to happen to him. And that's the way it's always been, and that's the way it always will be until we say something that actually makes a change. But the way that Riot is, it's not going to change. And that's why it makes me frustrated. League of Legends in 2022 is only getting worse because they're not focusing on the primary issues at hand. They're focusing too much on coming out with new skins, new skin lines, and new stuff to make us pay money so that they make more money instead of making it so that they keep the people that play the game already. They're worrying too much about bringing people in that they're losing more. And this is why I think the game is so frustrating today, because 9 out of 10 games, it's going to be someone feeding, someone throwing, someone just toxic. It is oftentimes, it even starts in the champion select. And I know it sounds a little crazy, but it's true. Sometimes just in champ select, it gets really heated. And right when you jump into the game, you already know you've lost because everyone's going to be spending more time typing than they are actually trying to win. This is where I kind of fall off the wagon. So thank you for listening to my rant. I want to end by saying I think League of Legends can be fun, and it has been fun. Playing with friends is a lot more entertaining than playing with random strangers. But if you decide to play alone majority of the time, you're going to have a pretty rough time. You're going to find yourself needing a new keyboard at least once a week and snapping your desk in half. Especially if you're one of the people that's just getting into League of Legends, the first year or so is just going to be sheer frustration. Then you can start having a little bit of fun because you're kind of understanding what's going on. But that first initial part, it's going to be a lot of frustration. And the cherry on top of this cake is that Riot is completely unaware that any of their champions have overloaded kits, or that any of these other champions need buffing, or the ones that obviously need nerfing aren't getting nerfed. And I think I'll post the video on there somewhere of like their head developer talking about how they don't even realize that their champs are broken.
Overall, we're pretty happy with the state of League this season. Let's dive into a topic that's been pretty popular lately, which is new champion balance. When we look at the data, we actually see that new champions have been pretty balanced on release this year. If we're being completely honest, we don't think our champions have overloaded kits overall.
I hope that you liked the video. Again, it is just my opinion. This is what I'm just talking about from 10 years of experience. If you are looking for a video that kind of talks on whether or not you should play League of Legends in 2022, I do have a video on that. I'll go ahead and post that in this video as well, or at the end of this video. Go ahead and check it out. But I want you guys to remember, don't take it so seriously. Try to have fun with it the best that you can. and just know if you go into every game knowing that it's going to be a loss, you'll have a lot more fun. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it somewhat educational. And if you agree with what I said, let me know in the comments, and let me know by hitting that subscribe button. And if you don't agree, hit the subscribe button anyway and let me know in the comments. Flame me all you want. I don't really care. I appreciate it. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. And happy gaming. I'll see you guys in the next one.